Basically, I should say this is the most failed paper in the CIT curriculum, right? But it doesn't mean that you won't succeed. Okay, with the right tactics, you should be fine. I believe when I speak, you cannot hear me.
Yes, please.
So this course is made up of two main areas. All right, I can even call it three main areas. All right, okay, let me call it three main areas. I think that would be better if I called it three main areas. All right, so first, let's say we have the first area, which we call DTs, right? So double taxation and DTs. So let me just call it double taxation and DTs. That's double taxation agreement, right? This is the very first area of the international taxation syllabus, right? Then the next area is what we call transfer pricing. Please, I believe you are writing along. I believe you are writing along.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the second area is transfer pricing. And the third area is harmful tax competition, right? Harmful tax competition and preferential tax regimes. Okay. So basically, if I want to break international tax down into three major areas, these are the major areas that I can break them down to. Double taxation and DTEs, transfer pricing, and harmful tax competition and preferential tax regimes. All right. So this is like the ultimate blueprint, right, to getting international tax. The three main areas. So we are going to dive into the three main areas. I'll give you high priority areas, medium priority areas, low priority areas, areas that you can really focus on to succeed, right? Are we okay? Please, are you done? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir. We can.
Joanna, are you okay? Ruby, are you okay?
Yes, please.
All right. So let's first start with double taxation and its connecting factors. So this is like the basics or the background of international tax. All right. There are some things that we need to know. So I'll break them into big headings, right? So where you see I use numbering, it means it's a major heading. So the first thing you need to know about is what we call double taxation and its connecting factors, right? Double taxation and its connecting factors. Now, when it comes to double taxation and its connecting factors, we must understand what double taxation is, all right? So when it comes to double taxation, you are saying that, okay, a case where a person pays tax twice, right? Either by two different jurisdictions, okay? Or where that same income where the person pays the tax is also taxed in the hand of another person. So what is double taxation? That's the first thing you must understand, and I'll come and explain it better. All right. So we are saying that when it comes to double taxation, I said it's a situation where a person pays tax what?
Twice.
Where you pay tax twice, right? So this double taxation is the situation where comparative taxes are levied on either the same person or the same income twice. So let's see what we said. So we are saying that taxes levied on same person twice, okay, or taxes levied on same income twice. Okay, so when I say this, what does it actually mean? Let me explain. Now, when tax is levied on the same person twice, That means it's two different jurisdictions. All right. So, for instance, if I have gone to UK, right, and I have gone to what? Do business and I pay tax there. When I come to Ghana, by virtue of me being a citizen of Ghana, for now, I assume you don't know anything about residence, but me being a citizen of Ghana, per our tax laws, I'm also supposed to pay tax in Ghana on that foreign income. Do you all get the idea? Do you get the idea? So is it not the same person who has been taxed twice? Is it not the same person who has been taxed twice?
It's the same person.
Yes, it's the same person. So taxes can be levied on one person twice, okay? Or it can be levied on what? One income twice. So when taxes are levied on the same person twice, we call it juridical double taxation. This is because two different states are taxing one person. Okay, so here it means that what? Two different states taxing one person. And in tax, when we talk about person, a person can be an individual or what? An entity, right? These are we have we gotten the idea? Have we gotten the idea? So I said where one person is taxed by two separate jurisdictions, we call it what kind of double taxation?
Juridical double
Juridical.
taxation.
Yeah, juridical double taxation. It means two countries are taxing the same person. So if Kelvin, you go to the UK or you go to Italy, you make some money, right? Or you go to Nigeria, you make money. You pay tax in Nigeria. You bring that money to Ghana, you pay tax on it because you're a Ghanaian. It is two countries taxing the same income, the same person, right? We call it what?
Yeah.
Juridical double
Juridical.
taxation because it is jurisdictional. Two different countries are taxing the same income. Makes sense. Okay, let's go to the next category. Now, when taxes are levied on the same income twice, we call it what we call economic double taxation. Economic what? Double taxation. Let me just take out the double taxation. What does this mean? So, let's look here. When companies pay tax, they pay tax on their profit. Is that not so? Is that not so?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Now, this same profit, what happens to it? We distribute it out as dividends. Or is that not so?
That's right, sir.
And that profit that we distribute out as dividend, don't we still pay dividend withholding tax on it?
We do.
Yes, please. We
So
do.
is it not the same profit that has been taxed twice, but in the hands of two separate stakeholders?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for instance, you are saying that that income was first taxed as a corporate what? Income, right? Then it was taxed in the hands of the shareholder. No be so. So you see that same income has been taxed as corporate income and later taxed as dividend. So this is what we call economic double taxation. So this is all about double taxation. Either it is juridical or it is economic. But your exam will mostly focus on dealing with juridical double taxation. Economic double taxation, yes, with passive income, techniques like dividend, beneficial ownership, we can deal with that, right? But for now, let's just focus on juridical double taxation. So this is what double taxation is about. Did it make sense to everyone? Please, let's make it lively. Ask as many questions as you can. 1,000 times, I'll go back for you. So, Ruby, in summary, what can you explain about double taxation?
So double taxation is when an income is taxed twice, either by two countries or by the same country but in different hands.
Okay, I like that. So when it's taxed by two different countries, we call it what? On the same,
Juridical.
yes, juridical, on the same person. And when it's taxed in two different hands, we call it
Economic.
economic. Thank you. Yes, Kelvin, double taxation.
Okay, so double taxation is when, or is a situation where taxes are levied either on the same income or the same person twice.
Okay.
So when taxes are levied on the same income, but by different countries, it's known as juridical double taxation. But when taxes are levied on the same income, but in the hands of different people, it is known as economic double taxation.
Okay. Good. Yes, Joanna, double taxation.
So double taxation is when one income is taxed twice. So it can be levied on a particular tax on the same person's tax. That is the juridical, one person being taxed twice. And then it can also be levied on one income, that is the economic double taxation, where the income is taxed twice in different hands.
Good. 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 Okay. So one thing you must understand is something we call the connecting factors that lead to what? Double taxation, right? Now, when we say connecting factors, it means that there must be an overlap, or these concepts must connect before double taxation actually happens. All right. So double taxation actually what happens when there is an overlap, right? When there is an overlap between these two factors. Yeah. So there are two major factors that create double taxation. One is what we call the residence principle, and the other is what we call the source principle. Now, when you understand these two concepts, you understand taxation in general, right? Because international taxation is still taxation. And as we go along, you start to get the concept of international tax. Now, look at this. International tax is actually two things, right? It's actually two things. Let me explain. If you're a Ghanaian, all right, and you go outside Ghana to do business, definitely you are still Ghanaian. Is that not so?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So international tax is two things. It's either a Ghanaian is doing business outside Ghana, meaning there's a cross-border connection, like there's an intersection between two countries. You are in UK, you are a Ghanaian, right? That is international taxation. Also, it could be that a foreign citizen is also in Ghana doing business. So his country has crossed with Ghana. That is also international taxation. Does it make sense? So anytime in exam, a scenario can be a Ghanaian in a foreign country who has made income and paid taxes there. What's its connection with Ghana? It's international taxation. Also, it could be what? A foreigner who has made money in Ghana and paid taxes in Ghana and goes back to his country to pay taxes again. That is also double taxation, or in simple terms, we can say that is international taxation. So where countries' tax laws interact, or there's a cross-border activity that has taxes, it is international tax. In simple terms, our tax laws here, the ones that deal with foreign aspects, are all what we call international tax. Does it make sense? Have you understood it? What did I say about international taxation or international tax?
So can you go over that for us again?
I'm saying that it's two things. If you're a Ghanaian and you go outside Ghana and you pay taxes, it's international tax. If it's a foreigner who has come to Ghana and he pays taxes, it's still international tax. Do you get it? So any tax that brings a foreign element in our laws is international tax. Whether it's a Ghanaian going outside or it's a foreigner coming to Ghana, there's still a cross-border activity, right? We have definitely cross borders. So anytime there's a cross-border, there's international tax. Kelvin, are you okay? Ruby, Joanne?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we are taxing international tax. When it happens, we are taxing two people. Who are they? We are either taxing what? Yeah, Joanna.
Either someone, a foreigner, someone from a different country coming into Ghana, or a Ghanaian going to a foreign country.
Yeah, so a Ghanaian who has gone to a foreign country. So when it happens like this is how it is dealt with. Do you understand? That is what we call international tax. I want you to have that at the back of your mind all the time. So any question you will get in the exam, it is either someone who is a Ghanaian who is paying tax in the foreign country and wants to bring the money back to Ghana, or somebody who is a foreigner but is in Ghana to do business or employment or whatever. That person too, it's also cross border. He has cross borders to Ghana. If it's a Ghanaian too, he has cross borders to another country. So international taxation. Do you get it? It's not any complex thing as people think, but this is how it is. Are we gradually getting there?
Yes, please.
So now that you have understood this principle, let's listen to a story. All right. So years ago in a kingdom, right, there was a queen who realized that there were a lot of invaders, okay, who come to steal from their people and all that, right? So the queen decided that why not put up a wall, all right? Put up a wall where each of the citizens in that kingdom, farmers, rich, the poor, everybody will contribute a stipend towards the building of the wall and the protection, that they are going to find strong soldiers from the east, from the west, and everywhere in the world to come and protect the kingdom. But if we bring these soldiers, won't we pay them? You are all in the kingdom with me. Won't we pay the soldiers?
We will.
We will. So this is what happens. The soldiers, the war, everything, every person there in that town had to contribute a bit of their earnings, okay, towards that wall. And then the soldiers they are going to bring to protect them from those invaders, those who fight for us, good drinking water, everything, right? So let's just take the queen as the government. Now, the queen was able to establish this wall, and the invaders could not come in again because they were strong soldiers. But everybody, from whatever they earned from their work, because the queen provided a serene environment for them to do business, had to contribute something small, a quota, to whatever was going towards the wall and the development of the place every time, right? So the wall is the territory of their kingdom. Let's call this kingdom Ghana, for instance. Good. Now, everybody who works within Ghana, if Ghana is the kingdom, contributes something towards the queen because they've made the place safe. True or false? True or
That's
false?
true.
That is what taxation is. You being able to sleep at night, you being able to wake up and go to work and come back safely, somebody provided that environment for you. That is why you pay a portion of whatever you got to that person. That's what we call tax. Do you understand? All right. Now we've understood the whole thing. Now, let me explain. Assuming somebody came from another kingdom and came to enter our kingdom where we now have a wall and peace. And this person also came to do business in that town and generated money. Let me ask you, should that person contribute towards the queen, or that person should just live for free? We built the kingdom. 4 of us here, we have built the kingdom. Yeah, so I think 5 of us. So what do you guys think? This person, should he pay something?
He should.
Why? Why should he pay something?
For enjoying the peace and the protection, and
He's
also
a,
being able to do the business.
yes. Because if we, the people of the town, ourselves, we are paying something to the queen, you, the outsider who came, you want to go scot-free. You want to come and pack everything and send it there. Is it fair?
No, sir, it's not.
Uh-huh. So the outsider came to make something here. So if the outsider came to make something here, he must also pay a stipend to the queen. Meboa. Because where does it have a source? Does it have a source in our kingdom, or it came from elsewhere?
It has a source in our kingdom.
Yes, so
Nothing.
anything that has a source in our kingdom, we need to take a portion of it. All right. So this is the source principle that anything within our jurisdiction should be taxed in our jurisdiction because it arose from our jurisdiction. Does it make sense? Now, what if when this trader was coming into our kingdom, he brought his own money? That money, can we tax it?
No.
No, sir.
Why? Why can't we tax it?
Because
This is
it was not earned in our kingdom.
Yes, because it was not earned in our kingdom. So we don't have any hand towards it. I like the way you guys are thinking. Good. So now we are the governors of this kingdom, right? Let's look at this. Now, assuming one of ours decides to also go to somebody's land to go and make some money. Listen carefully. One of ours, he is our person, and that person comes and brings that back into our land. Should we have a hand towards it? Think well. Think as a rational human being. Just think if it was you, right? You've trained your child, you've put him through school, he has become a doctor, he has gone outside, he has brought something back. Do you have a share of it? Should he give you? Should he give you?
I don't think so. He ended from wherever he's coming from.
Yes, he ended from wherever he's coming from. That is true. But I'm saying that you spend all your life taking care of this person, putting him through school, doing investment, providing him a safe environment. And then he went outside. He was able to get the opportunity to go outside to go and gather resources to bring it back. Do you have a hand in it?
I think I do.
Yes, you do.
In a way.
In a way, you do, right? Because
Yes.
without that safe environment, that guy wouldn't even have existed. The invaders would have killed him long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Now he has
Yeah.
even got the opportunity to go elsewhere to go and make more because he came from a safe environment. You deserve a cut. This is what we call worldwide taxation. Is this starting to make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So we are saying that yes, this guy has gone, he has come. Yes, we still have a hand in whatever he had there, right? So you see something that happened. The other kingdom, let's call the other kingdom maybe Nigeria. That kingdom, when he went there, they also provided safe environment and walls for their people, right? So our person there would have also paid tax there. Remember,
Yes, sir.
when he comes back home here, he will still pay tax here. True or false?
True.
So what has happened? Is it double taxation that has happened?
Yeah. Yes,
Double
please.
taxation has happened, right? So if double taxation has happened, it's not fair, right? Because this person is suffering twice. Why would he come back home in the first place if he knows he's going to suffer twice? I pay in Nigeria, I pay in Ghana. So I should have stayed in Nigeria, right? Because the money I made was from Nigeria and I paid tax there. I'm coming to Ghana again to come and pay. Oh no, I'd rather stay in Nigeria. So the people sat down and said, you know something? Why not find a way to reduce that person's burden? Do you get the idea? So that even if he brings something into this kingdom, yes, he'll pay tax, but we'll find a way to reduce the amount of taxes he's going to pay here by either not touching the income he brought from Nigeria. That's what we call exemption. Or the tax he paid there, we will use it and say, okay, you've paid some portion of tax. So let's use it to reduce the total taxes you are paying here. We call that the credit method. Do you get the idea? So I think that one, the person will smile. Will he smile or he will frown? We are the kings and queens here. If we do that for him, will Francis smile or frown? Let's take a hypothetical name. Would he want to bring more money into our country now? Our kingdom?
Yes, sir.
Why? Why would he want to bring more here?
because his tax burden is going to be reduced because whatever money he earns in the foreign country will be taxed, and then we are going to give that as a credit to him, meaning we are going to reduce his burden in our country. That is what I think.
Yeah. Ruby, what do you think? Joanna, what do you think? We are part of the monarchy. So all decisions are taken by all of us. Yes.
I think he will be happy bringing in more money because of the credit, it will still be the same as if he had paid the tax in Nigeria. So whatever burden he paid in Nigeria, he doesn't have to bear the same burden in Ghana. So with the credit, it will look like he's just paying the tax once. So there's no effect if he's bringing the money home. And so he'll be happy to bring the money home.
Okay. Yes, Ruby. What do you think?
I agree with Joanna, please.
Okay. But I want your lyrics. Your own personal lyrics. What do you think?
So effectively he's going to be paying a reasonable tax than if there was double taxation.
That is cool. So you all agree with me that these two principles we are seeing are what is actually causing double taxation, right? Let's look at it. Now, if I'm a citizen and I go to the foreign country, okay, I go and pay tax there. The income that arises, doesn't it arise from their kingdom? Doesn't it arise from their kingdom?
It does, sir.
So is it at source? Would the source principle apply to it?
Yes, it will.
Yes, because it is sourced from a particular country, right? When we say source, we mean where did it come from? The source of the money. It came from that country. So we can say that the source principle, they must tax that money, right? Because he's a foreigner. He must contribute his fair share towards the war. Meboa. Okay, good. And when he comes home, because he's a citizen and we provided early good environment to him for him to travel, we must also take our share. So you realize that no, this guy being a citizen is paying tax on worldwide income. That's why we call the resident principle. And also when he went to the foreign country too, he paid tax also on the income he made from there. So you see these two factors are crossing, they are overlapping. Can you see? One country says that your income arose from their country, source principle. You are saying this guy is your citizen. He should be taxed on any income he makes in the whole world. Worldwide income, residence principle. So when these two factors cross, it causes a conflict, and that conflict creates double taxation. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense to everyone? So double taxation is mainly caused by these two brothers. All right. Now, the next thing is, so therefore, what are the causes of double taxation? Let's say Francis is single, right? He goes to Kingdom B, which is Nigeria. He goes to make money. Good. By selling goods and services. He pays tax in Nigeria. He brings it to Ghana here. He still comes to pay tax. So there are two factors crossing. What are the two factors crossing now? What are the two factors crossing now? Nigeria will say the income. Will Nigeria tax him based on residence or based on source?
Based on source.
Source, because he generated it from Nigeria, right? But Ghana will tax him based on what?
Residence.
On residence, right? Yes. So this becomes a residence source conflict. What did I say? It becomes a residence what?
Source conflict.
Why is it becoming a residence source conflict? Because, yes, Joanna.
Because Ghana will be claiming to charge tax because he's a resident, and then Nigeria will also want to tax him because the revenue is being generated from their country.
Yes. So because of this overlap, right, it caused a residence source conflict. Now, let's say Francis has come to Ghana, gone back to Nigeria several times, met this one nice lady, and stayed in Nigeria for some time, gave birth to his children in Nigeria, in that kingdom, even established businesses in that kingdom. Won't the kingdom of Nigeria now accept Francis as their own? Has Francis not become a citizen of Nigeria? I'm waiting. Oh. Ruby, has Francis not become a citizen of Nigeria? Can you hear me?
Well, it depends. It depends on their laws.
Yes, it depends on their laws, but we are using the kingdom approach. So I'm
Yes. So
saying that
Francis has.
he has become a native of that kingdom, right? Because he has wife, children, his
Yes.
businesses,
Yes.
everything there. Yes.
Yes.
Not so. So
Yes, please.
Nigeria will consider Francis also as a resident. Is that not so?
Yes.
Good. But when Francis comes to Ghana with his children, Ghana also considers Francis as their own. True or false?
True.
So, right now, Francis is in a deep problem. Why? Because both of them are considering Francis to be what?
A resident.
A
A resident.
resident.
So this becomes a residence conflict because Nigeria says, hey, Francis, we are nipa. All right. Ghana is also saying that Francis, you are ours. So now, what do? We actually leave it for the kings and queens to decide where Francis actually comes from. Do you understand? So this residence conflict causes a huge problem that the tax authorities or the kings and queens of both kingdoms have to sit down and find a bargain or reach a compromise. Do you understand? And that way of reaching the compromise is a series of steps, which we are going to do later when we get to residence. We call it the tiebreaker rule. What did I say? We call it what?
Tiebreaker rule.
Tiebreaker rule.
Yeah, so we must break the tie to know where Francis actually is because Nigeria says Francis is our person. Ghana is also saying Francis is our person. So right now, what is the main issue here? Okay, we can bring in a mediator, chairman. Chairman will say, okay, Francis, where do you actually come from? You say, oh, I came from Ghana, but I met my lovely wife in Nigeria, and we actually Francis. Hey, I said, "My bisa no one kasa oni answer. He na free." Francis don't speak Fiji. They blast Fiji for 1 year. So right now, everybody thinks say Francis be Niger man. Charlie, how we go do am? So the thing is, right now, the authorities have to decide where Francis is actually coming from. So that is the tiebreaker. So resident conflict means two countries are taxing you on what? Are they taxing you on residence principle or source principle? Are they taxing you on residence principle or source principle?
Resident.
Residence principle.
Yes. So two countries taxing you on residence. This creates a residence conflict. And I said we solve this using a series of steps called what?
The
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker rule. So the tiebreaker rule, the queens and kings of the various kingdoms, which are the tax authorities, will have to settle by mutual agreement, okay, through a series of steps. So when we get there, we'll look at it, but let me give you a brief. So this is how it actually works. So first, we'll ask ourselves, where does Francis have his permanent home? That's the first test. Where can we say Francis has the permanent home? Yes, I'm asking my kings and queens on the call. Where do you think Francis has his permanent home? Where does Francis have his permanent home? Yes, I'm listening. Oh. If it's
So can
inconclusive,
we
tell me
say
it's
that
inconclusive. Uh-huh.
where he spent most of his livelihood with his family?
Okay. But he comes to Ghana, goes to Nigeria. You remember, we said it. So the
Yeah.
test will be inconclusive.
And
Because we can't really tell. He has his family also in Ghana, his mother, father, and the rest.
father.
Yes. Now, if we cannot determine where he has his permanent home, or he has permanent home in both states, you can have permanent home in both states, then the next test we normally do is we check something we call the center of vital interest. And this center of vital interest is where your economic and personal relations are closer. So, where do you have your family, your friends, your businesses, your visa status? You get it. So, where do you have those things in? That's what we call your center of vital interest. And here too is inconclusive. Do you all agree? Was it not inconclusive? Because he has family, wife, and children in Nigeria. He has wife and he has his mother, father, brothers, and his friends who he went to school with, his school, his clubs he goes to, where he plays, and all that in Ghana. So, can you all agree this test is also inconclusive because he has them in both states? True or false? I believe in
True.
Nigeria too, he would have made some friends as well. And I'm was saying. So,
Um,
this test is also inconclusive. So, the next thing we go to do is okay, this guy has a permanent home. He has a center of vital interest in both states. Then we move to the next test. What is the next test? The next test is checking whether Francis has a habitual abode. Okay. So this habitual abode is actually where Francis stays most of the time. Because now you are here, you are there. So let's look at where you stay most of the time. It's like you are doing bluebird. How old are you? So where is actually your habitual what? Abode.
abroad.
I was even thinking about Habiba, but let's continue. So, habitual abode is where you stay often, right? So now, where does Francis stay often? Definitely, he comes to Ghana, goes back to Nigeria. That was our whole thing, right? Francis is giving us tough time. Oh. Okay, finally. If we can't determine where Francis lives all the time, what we do is that we are going to say, okay, finally. This one, they will settle it here. Where is Francis a national? What is Francis's nationality? This one, it was easy. What is Francis's nationality? Where is he actually a national?
He's a Ghanaian.
He's a
Yeah.
Ghanaian. This one there, it has broken the tie.
Oh, yeah.
That is why we call it tiebreaker. One of them must definitely break that tie. So if Francis is actually a Ghanaian, then we've settled the case. Then he should be taxed in Ghana. Do you understand? But what if some way, somehow, when he was in Nigeria, he became a citizen of Nigeria? Everybody knows him as Papa Lasisi. Now, Papa Lasisi, everybody knows Francis as Papa Lasisi, a Nigerian man selling spare parts now. Francis now saw issue. Now, Nigeria also said, no, he's a citizen of Nigeria. Tinubu says he's a citizen of Nigeria. How you go do it? Charlie, matter don't chop hot. So as matter don't chop hot there, this one there, we cannot do anything. So when his nationality cannot be confirmed, this is the last tiebreaker where the tax authorities will settle by mutual what?
Agreement? Huh?
Mutual agreement. So finally, we the kings and queens will now decide. Based on all the factors we are seeing, where do you think we should actually tax Francis? Should we agree that he's finally a Ghanaian or we should settle in Nigeria? So the two tax authorities will sit down. Usually it's Francis who will submit the case, who come and look at all these processes, what goes into it, what we can do to help Francis, right? Because that's why we are on this call, right? Are we gradually getting there? You see, this course is very interesting. I mean, your course is something very practical. Do you understand? It's not anything that is very we gradually you get there. Are we gradually getting there? So we said we can have a resident source conflict, but a resident conflict is difficult because this guy will pay enormous taxes. It means that Any tax that you pay anywhere in the world will be taxed in Nigeria. Any tax that Francis pays anywhere in the world will also be taxed in Ghana, which means he will pay huge taxes. So we have to find a way to reduce the taxes by applying what? The tie breaker rule. And you must definitely break the tie. So in exam, when you want to break the tie, you must find one or two ways that you can use to break the tie. All right. So I'll take a scenario just so we can familiarize ourselves with some of the cases and how they come. But don't be scared. I'm holding your hand like a baby from what? Cradle till you finish the course, right? Which you call cradle to the grave. Yeah. We did together. All right. So just give me some 30 seconds. Let me open a question and let's see how it looks like. Don't be scared though, because you answer the questions for me. One number answer, not me. Yeah. From day one, you think as a queen or a king, so that we can conquer the dragons together. To be an exciting journey. All right. International taxation. So we are going to take a few, and then you are going to tell me where you think the testament. Plus, please write the test down, right? As I'm looking for the question, you also be writing the test down. Have you written the test down? Have you written the test down? I mean the tiebreaker rule.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we are going to read a question, and then we are going to write our tests down, as we said, right? So let me just zoom this up. All right, so let's see. Salom is a very successful football player who lives with his family in Belgium. Okay, lives with his family where? In Belgium. Can we all agree this is his permanent home? Or we can conclude? For now, we can't, eh?
Yes, let's
All right.
Let's let's move on.
All right. So if you see, let me give you the trick. This can be very fun. If you see anything from those lists we listed, just mention it, okay? You just mention. Oh, permanent home. This one lives with his family. Lives. Which one would you attribute it to? Lives. Is it more of permanent home? Center of vital interest, which is where your economic and personal relations are closer, or habitual abode? It fits into those three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lives with his family. We can see family, personal relations, right? We can also see lives. It means, baby, I want to say permanent. No,
Permanent. That's all.
also, where you are living permanently could also be your habitual abode. But we have
Yeah.
somebody who lives in East Legon, but they be non in Amtema. Oh, no swear. Okay, so that is it. So he lives with his family in Belgium, right? Selam's children attend a school in Belgium. Oh, Center of Vital
Interest.
Interest. Thank you.
interest.
Although Selam has lived in Belgium for the past 10 years. Oh, what does this tell us? Lived in Belgium for the past 10 years. Yes, Ruby. Lived in Belgium for the past 10
Habitual abode.
Habitual abode. Okay, I'll take it. Habitual abode. And this year inclusive. He grew up in and is a national of Ghana.
Nationality.
Nationality. Okay. Selom owns several houses both in Ghana and Belgium. Wow. What are they telling us?
Permanent homes.
No. Owns several houses both in Ghana and Belgium. Okay, you can say permanent home though. All right. Good. Now, Selom and his family live in one of the houses in Belgium. Mm-hmm.
Habitual abode.
Habitual abode.
It could be permanent home to live.
Yes.
Anyway, let's continue. For now,
Yeah.
don't worry. The other about Timothy account, that's how we learn. We learn by practicing, right? Yes. And when Salom is traveling for his football engagement and other activities, he either stays at hotels or when he in Ghana, he stays at one of his houses in Ghana. Yes, what can you say about this?
Center of vital interest.
Can you throw more light on why you said the center of vital interest? Because, yes.
Okay, so when he goes for the football engagement in Ghana, and then he stays either in hotels or his house there.
Okay.
Vital interest there.
Yes, because the football is his activity, yes. So it's a vital interest. Personal and
Interest.
economic relation is an economic relation. But where
Yeah.
he's staying, that means that anytime he goes for football engagement, it's habitual. So habitual signifies the frequency, the duration. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Like the number of times you do something. And yeka habitual it is a thing.
What are you? Yeah.
Yes, you eat food. Is it not habitual? It's habitual, right? Good.
Yeah.
Now, Salom has an arrangement with his brother that Salom will retain legal ownership of the houses in Ghana, but that his brother will have the right to stay in one of the houses, that is the house Salom normally stays in when he's in Ghana, throughout the year, provided that Salom has a room available to him at all times within the house in Ghana. A room that is available to you at all times, is it not some sort of permanence?
Yeah.
Something available to you at all times. Can it be your permanent home?
It qualifies.
Qualifies. Okay. Now, in addition, Salom will keep his belongings in the house in Ghana. Salom rents out all the other houses in Ghana and Belgium via an estate agency in Ghana. Where does he have administration of his properties? He has some in Belgium. He has some in Ghana as well. Is that not so? So it tells you that he has center of vital interest in Ghana. He has center of vital interest in Belgium. So if we start from where does he have his permanent home? Looking at what we are seeing, it seems Salom has permanent home in what? In Belgium and in Ghana. True or false?
True.
And what points can you use to support this thing we just said? So that's how we do the tiebreaker rule. What points can you use to support what we just said? Oh, you can take any part of any paragraph. It doesn't matter. I said he has a permanent home both countries. So take any point and use to support. Yes, please. I'm listening.
So in the first paragraph, Salom lives with his family in Belgium.
Okay.
So that one was support. Permanent home. Yes.
And then where does he have a permanent home in Ghana? Yes.
Is in the second paragraph.
I think in the first paragraph with the last statement, Salom owns several houses both in Ghana and Belgium.
Several houses both in Ghana and Belgium. Okay. 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 I'll take it. Yes, Samuel, you are welcome. Samuel, can you hear me? Samuel, can you hear me? Okay, no problem. Let's continue. But there's also another paragraph. Yes, Ruby, can you also help us support something with permanent home? You can pick
I'm sorry. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, Samuel, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you help me pronounce the name well? Is it Dageji?
Yeah.
All right. So I want you to support something with permanent home for me in Ghana. What paragraph can we see that you think we can link it to Salom having a permanent home in Ghana? You can take your time to read.
Well, so for me, right, if you look at the second paragraph, he said that, and when Salom is traveling for his football engagements and other activities, he either stays at hotels when in Ghana, or when in Ghana, he stays at one of his houses in Ghana. He
Okay.
stays at one of his houses in Ghana,
Okay. So we
right?
can
And
use
then
that to support. Good.
yeah, and also you have the right to stay in one of the houses, provided that Salom has a room available to him at all times within the house in Ghana,
Okay.
and he has his belongings in Ghana,
Yes. Yes. So
and
I
then
uh-huh.
he rent out all the other houses, even in Ghana, Belgium, via an estate agency in Ghana. For me, that one too is very interesting, but then we can get to it later.
Yes. So in exam, and yes, so be an expert. You don't have to be an expert too. All you have to do is make meaning from what the tiebreaker rule is about and what you think. You can use things like, in my opinion, I think. That's what they are looking for. You see, sometimes students want the thing to be chinchina. It's not like that, though. It's it's just systematic. Okay, now we have agreed that based on what we have all discussed, my kings and queens. Let me ask you. So now, is it conclusive that he has a permanent home in Ghana or Belgium? No. True or false? It's inconclusive. Meboa. So you move on to the next test. What's the next test? Center of vital interest. This is where his what? His personal and economic relations are closer. Meboa. So let me ask you. It seems he has his family in and his businesses in Belgium. Meboa. True or
Yes.
false? And also he has
True.
family and properties and businesses also in Ghana. True or false?
True.
So can we agree that center of vital interest is inconclusive?
Yes. It's
Yes.
inconclusive.
So what's the next test? We move to the next test, which is what?
Nationality.
No, habitual abode. We
The
must look at
habitual abode, yes.
often. So habitual abode, where do you think he has his habitual abode? In both countries as well. Oh, so habitual abode, what can we use it to? What can we use to support this? Yes, Ruby. What can we use to support habitual abode? Pick any paragraph.
The fact that his family lives in Belgium,
The fact that his family lives in Belgium with him. Okay, that means it's often,
and he
right?
he has lived in Belgium for the past 10 years.
Lived in Belgium for the past 10 years. I'll take it. Okay, now what about Ghana?
Yes, please.
What can we support with Ghana?
And
Can you also
he comes back to Belgium.
You said? I didn't get you.
I said the fact that he travels around, but he still comes back to Belgium. And then when it comes to Ghana, the fact that he has legal ownership of some houses in Ghana.
Okay. And also they said he either stays in hotel, are you getting it? Or when in Ghana, he stays at one of the houses in Ghana.
His
So it
houses.
means it's regular. It's
Yes.
something he does. They said, well, when Salom is
Yes.
traveling for his football engagement, that means something he does frequently. He's either staying in hotels, that's mostly a short stay, or stays in his own house. So habitual abode. So it tells us that this guy has habitual abode in two of the countries. Do you all agree? Samuel, do you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
That this test is also inconclusive. So it means that Salom, this test too, we cannot determine where he has his habitual abode. Okay. So now that test too, we couldn't conclude. So we move to the next test, which is where he's a national. Let's break the tie. There was no doubt about his nationality. Anna, it was straightforward. They said it. Salom is a national of what? Salom is a national of what?
Ghana.
Ghana. Have we broken the tie? Have we broken the tie?
Yes.
So that means he's a resident of Ghana and therefore he'll be taxed on worldwide income in Ghana. All the income that he'll make will be taxed fully in Ghana. That means Belgium now will consider income tax in Belgium at source, because now we have broken the tie. The tax authorities, Nankasa, they have decided that Selom should be taxed in Ghana as a resident. I believe this thing, was it difficult? On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place the difficulty? Yes. Oh, feel free. We are learning together. Yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would we put the difficulty? It will be a heading. Anyway, let's go back to our kingdom stuff. So, my kings and queens, we are going back to our kingdom. Now, we have seen that we had resident source conflict. That is where one kingdom is saying, you remember Francis, Papa Lasisi. Now, Francis made money from Nigeria. He brought it to Ghana because he was a citizen in Ghana. We are saying that, okay, Nigeria says the income arose at source. Ghana is also saying that, Francis, we gave him a good environment to grow up, and hence any money he makes in the world, we have a share. And that is somewhat true. So in that case, we give Francis that share. So resident source conflict. Now, the last one is very interesting. This is where we call the source to source conflict. Now, what does it mean to say source to source conflict? So let me show you something. Now, what if Francis decided to remain single and fight for us? We are the kings and queens, right? Now he's a soldier. He fights for us. So he's a spy. He's undercover. Now, Francis goes to one kingdom, the kingdom of Nigeria, and he's fighting as part of their army, right? But he's being paid by us here. We are the kings and queens in the kingdom of Ghana. Now, if we decide for Francis to pay a quota of whatever he earns, the Nigerian government is going to say that, you know something, or the Nigerian kingdom is going to say, Francis, even though you are coming from Ghana, you are stationed here, so whatever money you are paid here arose from Nigeria. True or false? True or false? True or false? Or you don't get what I'm trying to put across? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to put across? Let's
Well,
look
I
at
get it, but as to whether to make a conclusion, whether it's true or false, you continue.
All right. So let's see. Now, assuming this guy was employed in Ghana, all right, but he's stationed in Nigeria to work. If money is paid to him by the Ghanaian employer, the Nigerian government will still say that his income arose from Nigeria because he is stationed in Nigeria. True or false? Now you can give a true or false. True or false?
True, sir.
True, because he is stationed in Nigeria. But however, Ghana is also paying his stipend. Ghana also say we are the one paying you your income. So the income also arose in Ghana. The employment is in Nigeria, the income is in Ghana. Both will say still it arose in their country. So both of them will tax him at source, which creates a source to source conflict. Now, this is usually rare. Okay, it's a rare case, but it happens. Do you get it? So this is the source to source conflict. So I told you that there are two connecting factors that actually lead to double taxation. The residence principle, where you are citizens who pay tax on their worldwide income, and then the source principle, where you pay tax only on income made from a kingdom or a particular place, right? A particular territory. So when these two things cross or they overlap, it creates what? It creates what? Double taxation. So I told you that these things cross in three ways. They can be a residence source overlap or conflict, residence conflict, which we settle with the tiebreaker rule. And we looked at how the tiebreaker rule works. And then finally, we looked at the source to source conflict, where two countries are claiming source over the same income. I believe that is fine with everyone. So
Yes.
just a quick one. Some of you were not here earlier, but our kings and queens who were here before, I explained something about international taxation. Yes, Joanna, I want you to take that up for us. When we talk about international taxation, what is it? I said it can arise from two perspectives. Yes, Joanna, we are waiting for you. The guests are ready. They are waiting for the reception.
So that is when there is an overlap. So that is when maybe a Ghanaian works or generates its source from a different country, or when a foreigner also comes into the country, then that is when there's international taxation.
Okay. You have done well. Yes, Kelvin, I want your perspective as well. What is international taxation?
Okay, so international taxation occurs mainly when there is a cross-border activity. That is when a Ghanaian goes abroad to do business, and then when a foreigner comes into Ghana to do business.
Okay, and pay some taxes, right? Okay. Yes, Ruby, I want your perspective as well.
So international taxation occurs when international taxation occurs when let's say someone crosses a border, a foreigner crosses a border to come to Ghana to work, or a Ghanaian crosses the border to work in a foreign land.
Okay, I like the perspective. So in simple terms, international tax is a part of our laws that brings cross-border activity, right? So the parts of the Ghanaian law that cover foreign transactions is international tax. International taxation is where there's a cross-border activity that brings taxes. So if a Ghanaian makes money and is taxed in the UK and he returns to Ghana, that is still international tax because there will be interaction between the two laws, right? The same way, if a foreigner comes to Ghana, makes money and is taxed in Ghana, he must definitely return back to that foreign country. So there's still interaction between two different states. That is international taxation. So in exam, any scenario you will be given is either a foreigner being taxed in Ghana or a Ghanaian being taxed in a foreign country. There's no other question apart from these two. Okay, the next question. I told you there are three major topics in international taxation, or three major headings under the international taxation course. Yes, Ruby, what did I say the three major headings were for the whole course?
Transfer pricing, harmful tax competition and preferential tax regimes,
Okay.
and then double taxation and double taxation agreements.
Yes, so these are the three main areas. So please, those who were not here earlier, please write them down, right? International tax, I'm giving you the room some few minutes. Just write this down, right? Double taxation and DTAs, transfer pricing, and then the third area is harmful tax competition and preferential tax regimes. Please write it down. So just for your friends, Kelvin, can you tell us what double taxation is? And what are the two factors that cause double taxation? Just as a recap, so that your friends at the reception will get some food to eat. They didn't come to the party earlier, so just give them some dessert.
Okay, so double taxation is a situation where um, taxes are levied either on the same income or on the same person. So taxes can be either levied on the same income by two different countries. And in that case, we can term that as jurisdictional taxation, because the income of that person is taxed based on the jurisdiction. And then we have economic double taxation. That is where taxes are levied on the same income, but in the hands of different people. That is all I can say, sir.
That is good perspective. Okay. So, Joanna, what are the connecting factors that lead to double taxation? So your own you are giving is the sobolo. They finish eating the food, so give them sobolo to drink. Yes.
So the connecting factors is the resident. We have the resident principle and source principle. So the resident principle is when we check whether the source of income is coming from someone who is a resident. That is the source, the resident principle, and then the source principle is you consider if the funds or revenue is generated within a particular jurisdiction. So based on that, it will be taxed. So it can be taxed either based on whether you are a resident
Where
or
you are
whether
taxed.
where you are.
If you are a resident, you are taxed on what? The word I was looking for, you didn't bring it. This word.
Worldwide principle.
Worldwide income.
Worldwide income.
Yes.
Worldwide
So the
income.
income you earn globally will be
Globally.
taxed. If you are going with the resident principle and the source principle, you are only taxing income that arose from a particular territory. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Now, the next question goes to Samuel. Mr. Samuel, what are the causes of double taxation? This one, there's an icing on the cake before they go home.
Well, so the cause of double taxation is when there's a conflict, right? And there are three of them. So in terms of the residence and the source, if there's a conflict, right, that's where we are not sure. And then also between residence conflict, that's where we use the tiebreaker rule, all right, and then also source conflict. So source conflict is for example, what you use, like if the person, let's say you're a Ghanaian, right, you take your salary, your company is in Ghana, but say you are working in Ivory Coast or Nigeria, right? Now, the Ghana authorities want to take tax because the company is here, but it's coming from here. Nigeria too can say that, but you are living in Nigeria and working. So that's a source of conflict. These are the three types of or causes of double taxation.
So when we talk about resident source conflict, that means one country is saying your income arose from source from there. Another country is saying that, oh, you are resident in their country, right? The second one is resident conflict, where two countries are all saying you are resident, so you should be taxed on your worldwide income there. It can cause a problem. So we usually settle it by mutual agreement procedure through a process called the tiebreaker rule, right? So you break the tie, right, through permanent home. If you're an individual, we check where you have your permanent home. If that is inconclusive, we check where your personal and economic relations are closer. If that is inconclusive, we check where you stay often, right? Frequency, durability of your stays. Are you getting it? We look at what? Nationality, where you are national. If you can't break that tie, then finally we settle by mutual agreement, where you submit your case to them, and within 3 years, they have to find a solution for you. Then the source conflict is where two countries are saying your income arose from source, right? And I told you that is usually rare, okay? So mostly in your exam, you'll be dealing more with resident source conflict and residence conflict, right? Okay. So that was it. That was it. So now that we've seen the causes of double taxation, now this question is a general question. Everybody can answer. Now, what is the disadvantage of double taxation? Assuming you yourself, you were paying tax twice. What is the disadvantage? Yes, everybody must stop. From the top, Kelvin.
The cross-border activities will be discouraged. That is,
Okay.
there will be less international trade.
Okay, so it discourages international trade. Okay, I'll take it. Yes. Who is next in line? Osman Rahman. Why do you think double taxation, paying tax twice, is disadvantageous? Yes. Osman Rahman. We are training for battle, so every soldier must fight. Yes, Osman. Can you hear me? Okay. My main man. Hey, where did you run to? Isaac. You're welcome. Please, can you tell us one of the disadvantages of paying tax twice as an individual? Yeah, Osman, you are back.
Yes, Prof.
Yes, boss.
Please, what is my question?
I said, what is
Sorry.
the disadvantage of paying tax twice? To you, it should be personal. If you are paying tax twice, double taxation, what are the disadvantages of
Okay.
double taxation?
Prof, it can discourage business.
Can discourage business. Okay, so let's
Yes.
put it in discourages international trade. Let's take another point. Assuming you know that this income you've made, you are going to pay tax twice. Are you not mostly going to hide your income?
Sure.
Yes. So this can lead to tax evasion and avoidance. Okay, good. Yes, another point. Samuel, do you have anything for us?
No,
Okay.
not understand.
Okay. Emmanuel Ampoma, do you have anything for us? Emmanuel Ampoma, do you have anything for us? Yes, Isaac, my main man who ran away from.
Well, how are you?
Oh, my grace.
It can lead to capital flights.
Okay, can you explain that?
Yes, investors will end up putting their monies in countries whereby the tax rates are lesser
Okay.
than
Leads to using,
bringing it in to this country.
yeah, so it leads to using tax havens and preferential tax regimes, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So most people will want to go to where there are lower taxes, right? So preferential tax regimes.
The rates are lower. Yes.
Yeah, I like that point. Yes. I also want to add another point. It can lead to multiplicity of taxes. Okay. When we talk about multiplicity of taxes, it's one concept that countries who don't have it usually record a lot of revenue. Let me explain what that means. Now, in Ghana, if somebody makes a sale, one sale, there are so many taxes on it, Meboa. The same sale, you pay withholding tax. The same sale, VAT was so. The same sale will go through the whole thing, deduct your expenses, and you come and pay corporate tax again on it. The same thing ends up as profit. You still pay growth and sustainability on it. The same profit again will be paid to shareholders, and you still pay what on it? You still pay dividend withholding tax on it. One income. See how many times different taxes have applied to it. It discourages business. It even collapses businesses, right? And it sometimes it discourages compliance. People wouldn't want to comply. Do you understand? So these are the disadvantages of double taxation. So that was all about what double taxation was, the types, what the connecting factors are, and what the causes and the disadvantages are.